Night Football is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. The Giants and the Eagles playoff at MetLife Stadium. And before we do the preview, there has been a little moment in Philadelphia here. A moment that, calls for a little bit of a kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Someone praise the Lord, kumbaya. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley had a players-only meeting. Rumored that it was about offensive schematics. However, if it were about offensive schematics, I think most of the offense would have been in that room as well. Don't you think? Like Devontae, Lane, Dallas Goedert, all the other guys, the offensive line, right? Maybe even the coaches. No. This was a meeting about three guys getting together and saying, hey, let's just handle this shit like men. Let's figure this out. Or you quit your sourpussing and then we get on with our business here. Hopefully that's what it was. Now, AJ's being a sourpuss because the offense is what it should be. Jalen Hurts is as stoic as ever because they're just winning football games. And Saquon Barkley, again, is kind of like the guy in the room with cachet that nobody gets upset with because he has the respect of everybody in the room, right? That's Saquon Barkley. And I think he looked at it and he said, hey, I don't know what the hell this is, but you two better figure this out because we're trying to win ball games here. We have a bigger goal in mind. And we need everybody on ship here in order to get the job done. So he called that meeting. They called that meeting, whether he mediated it or not. I don't know what the case is. However, those two guys met, hashed over some things, all prior to the New York Giants game on Thursday night. And listen, we get why AJ's upset. We get why the whole offense is annoyed. We get why the fan base is annoyed. Check this out. The offense is ranked 30th in total offense, 27th in rushing, 31st in passing. Now, I am not necessarily big on the idea that we have to have certain amount of yardage or we have to be really high in the yardage ranking. However, this is freaking unacceptable. Here's an even more telling stat, and I'm going to share this tweet that Zach Berman had. I found this on another channel that I was watching about information regarding the Eagles, and then they mentioned this stat, and I thought, wow, that is one hell of a stat. So to the radio audience out there, I'll read the stat for you. The video audience gets to see this. The most befuddling stat about the Eagles from Zach Berman. They have had 3-and-outs on a league high 47.2% of their offensive drives. Number 2 is Tennessee on that list. Number 3 on that list is Cincinnati. It's beyond comprehension with the amount of talent that we have on this offense to lead this statistic. Another thing that he said to consider, no team has had a worse 3-and-out percentage since 2005. And the 49ers went 4-12 that year. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a stat I was not aware of. That is an unbelievable stat. Half of your, look at me, I'm shaking my damn desk. Half of your drives, damn near 50% of your drives on the offensive side of the ball have resulted in 3-and-out when the players that you have, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, the Transformer and A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, and the Great Wall of Philly. That's not necessarily the Great Wall of Philly anymore. I'll give that title to last year's team. But Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Lane Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, excuse me. Jeez, it's very late in the evening. And Tyler Steen. It's not like this offense has incompetent players. If anything, it's the most talented offense in all of the NFL. And half of your drives are leading into 3-and-outs. More so than the Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals, who both stink. So, yeah, A.J. Brown's going to be pissed off about these types of things. This offense is going to be pissed off about these types of things. However, beyond the realm of comprehension, we're 4-1. And that's the enigma about this team. And potentially after Thursday night, we hope to be 5-1. But this Giants team is no joke. And that's what we're going to preview. Before we get into all of that, though, I have to introduce the show. This is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I'm your host, Asif Badi. And like you, I'm a Birds fan who talks about the Birds, only the Birds, and nothing but the Philadelphia Eagles. So please do a brother a favor, help this channel grow organically by shooting this video a thumbs up, commenting your thoughts in the comments section below, and subscribing to the channel. Also check us out on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review because in the end, it doesn't cost you a damn thing to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and smash that thumbs up icon. We appreciate your support on the opposite side of the camera and on the opposite side of the airwaves. So yeah, we play the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football as a division rival at MetLife Stadium. So the good thing about that is we don't have to travel far. We go from Philly to New York. It's just a few-hour drive. Not bad. Thursday Night Football, sometimes it's the best remedy to have after a bad loss on a Sunday. You get to immediately remedy it by playing on that Thursday night. However, this New York Giants football team, despite what we all think of it, despite how much we say these guys are just not a good constructed roster, they have a bad coach and all that. Again, it's a bad football team, no doubt about it. I think most Giant fans would tell you, hey, we're not a very good football team. However, there are key things here on this Giants team that can pose some problems for Philadelphia. Number one, I think the Jaxson Dart effect is real. Now, I am not suggesting here that Jaxson Dart can play. I watched him against the Chargers. We went to MetLife Stadium. We, meaning me, my brother, and my sister, for my brother's birthday, we watched the Chargers game live at MetLife Stadium because he's a Charger fan. It was alumni weekend, so there was already a little bit more juice in the building than normally would be, right? However, when Jaxson Dart stepped on that football field, the energy in the place felt different. Everyone is so excited about this freaking kid. This kid brings juice. He brings athleticism. He brings a different pace to the game for the New York Giants. Now, the kid can't throw a lick for an NFL quarterback. That's just my opinion. I saw him throw lollipops, in my opinion, and they don't ask him to do much. But that boy got wheels. That boy can run. And I'm talking, I mean, like, that boy can run. That's what I'm talking about. That guy's got wheels. He can extend plays, he could break the backs of defenses on third down. And when there's nothing open, which generally is the case here without Malik Neighbors, he has the ability to make somebody miss. So in that sense, he's a little bit more of a playmaker than maybe we all anticipated he would be. And in the Chargers game, he really broke their backs by rushing the football. Against the Saints, he threw for 200 yards, got a little bit better throwing the ball. I mean, some of his touchdowns were, not super, super great. Rather, the one touchdown to Theo Johnson in the back of the end zone, lollipop. Again, like I said, I don't think the kid can throw. But I think what he does is bring the juice. He brings energy. He brings some spunk and he brings some swagger to the Giants that they have solely been lacking for a very, very long time. And on a short week against a division rival, anything is possible. Now, I'm not sitting here suggesting the Philadelphia Eagles are going to lose this ball game. I don't believe so. The line at Vegas on FanDuel says Philadelphia is favored by 7.5 points. That's a lot, in my opinion, for a division rival game, but I get it. The talent discrepancy is there. But when you're playing with an attitude of like, yeah, you got nothing to lose. You got a young quarterback who you're excited about. Everybody brings the juice. And honestly, after a game like the Broncos, if I'm the New York Giants, I'm saying to myself, hey, we got a shot here. We got a front seven that can get after it because you got Thibodeau, Brian Burns, who's an absolute monster. Sexy Dexy's a badass football player. Abdul Carter, the real deal. Just is the real deal. That boy can play. They got a lot of players on that defensive front. Bobby Okereke, they got a lot of good players there on the defensive side of the ball. And while I don't necessarily believe they have talent on the back end to stop our passing attack when we decide to throw it, their front seven's really good. And we have a banged up offensive line because Landon Dickerson probably not going to play, rightfully so, because he's beat up. And you're probably going to have like Brett Toth in there who got his ass kicked in the Broncos game. And then Cam Jurgens, he's suffering too. He doesn't look the same either. He's got that back issue. He's got some injuries and some ailments lining up. And then Tyler Steen's not Mekhi Becton like he was last season. While Tyler Steen has been good and I trust him to hold up, you're going up against Sexy Dexy. You're going up against Dexter Lawrence in the middle. That's probably the best defensive tackle outside of Chris Jones in the National Football League. And yes, that includes Jalen Carter, ladies and gentlemen. The front seven for the Giants is no joke. And again, Cam Scadaboo, a physical football player. Jaxson Dart, a kid that's got wheels. The Giants, they got a tough mentality in a division game against the Super Bowl champions at home. They got nothing to lose. They're going to throw the biggest haymakers they got. And Philadelphia is going to have to answer that after having a kumbaya moment with A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley and suffering a loss to the Denver Broncos. And lastly, the final thing that I'm going to suggest here, because we already talked about how Jaxson Dart brings the juice, the physicality, and the talent on the Giants' defensive front against this injured Philadelphia Eagles offensive line and how that can be a little problematic. The last thing I'm going to look at is kind of the mindset of some of these guys going into this game. One of two things is going to happen after this kumbaya, my Lord meeting. I love doing that, by the way, but I digress. One of two things is going to happen. Either this meeting somehow is going to fix all the tension that has been there with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and this offense, and they're going to get on the same page and start to just say, hey, you know what? Let's line up and just get the mission done. Or, this is a big one, or it completely blows up in our face. And it becomes that moment, that tipping point, where we look at this season and we say, you know what? That's where the divide happened with AJ and Jalen. That's when the divide happened where in the offseason, you potentially ship AJ off to another football team because of a moment like that and the aftermath of it. So the meeting might have been small, but the magnitude and the aftermath and the aftershock of it could potentially be very, very franchise changing. And a loss to the Giants potentially on top of that, if that happens, and that's a big if, but if it does, on a short week, you have a long semi-bye week to really let that marinate and let that sit, because then it's 2 losses in a row in terrible fashion where you gave up 18 straight points to the Denver Broncos, couldn't do crap on the offensive side of the ball, only scoring 17 points and none in the second half. And then you lose to a Giants team who, quite frankly, don't have a quarterback that can actually lead the offense to a major high success of offensive success. They don't even average 20 points with the kid at quarterback. If you somehow lose to this football team, you got real big damn issues, like really big issues. And hopefully Saquon Barkley was the guy to bring these two entities together, because prior to the Saquon Barkley arrival, this is one of the best receiver quarterback duos in football. It just was. 1,500-yard seasons back-to-back, led to a Super Bowl, had 10 straight wins at the start of 2023. When A.J. Brown got hurt, remember in that 2023 season, he had like 6 straight games where he had 125, 150 yards receiving a game. NFL record. So there was magic between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown prior to whatever the hell happened in the 2023-2024 offseason. And ever since then, it's not been the same. The offensive success has not been the same. The mindset of the coaching staff has not been the same. The play calling has not been the same. And that's probably what A.J. Brown's most upset about. And hopefully this players' meeting between these 3 men just get them on the same page to complete the mission of winning a football game. And hopefully Jalen can get his head out of his ass and find a way to get A.J. Brown the damn ball, and for A.J. Brown to stop being a sourpuss and say, you know what? At the end of the day, if I win Super Bowls, I'm going to be a Hall of Famer too. And I had an opportunity here with this football team to win the Super Bowl. So hopefully that's going to be the takeaway with this meeting. And hopefully we win this game against the New York Giants, because I will tell you, damn, my fat ass nose keeps hitting this microphone, and I apologize if it keeps making a sound. I am not sleeping on the New York Giants in this game. 7.5 points is pretty steep on a short week and a division rival. I'm really leaning towards taking the points in that game because a touchdown lead is just a lot. This also is going to imply that, there's going to be some sort of offensive explosion plus the defense shaping up and making it shut down, right? So I don't blame Vegas for that line, but seems a little steep. So again, if I had to put money on it, which I probably will because I'm slowly but surely becoming a small degenerate, I'd put money on the Eagles money line. I'm not going to necessarily take the points in this game. Not totally confident in that line, but Philadelphia is going to win this football game at New York and then get a good long bye week, a good rest period before they go on to the next week. And hopefully the offense looks a little bit better, and hopefully this defense creates a turnover or two, forces Jaxson Dart to throw the ball, and then he can show everybody why I don't believe he's able to throw the football and lead the Giants to any sort of success in terms of the passing game, right? So that's where my head is at. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And hopefully after Thursday night's football game, we will have a reaction episode. And I will give you my honest take about the Philadelphia Eagles, because that is what we do here. We try to be as honest and objective as we possibly can. So until next time, everybody, take care, be safe, and go Birds.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want to continue to support the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Riding the Bench Eagles Pod. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us next time here at the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast.